now, and we have about 8 more schools to come in.
On behalf of the Blackstone Millville Regional School District, we welcome you to the Heartland Middle School, those of you from middle schools from around the state. I also want to congratulate you for being student leaders in your own schools, for getting involved and getting engaged. It's very, very important today in all schools that students develop leadership skills to recognize how to work with other students, how to establish anti-bullying programs, communities of learning and understanding. You are the student leaders that are going to be able to do that.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mr. Cameron. I am the principal of this fine middle school. I think we honestly need to start this morning by thanking all the adults, all the adult advisors and the teachers and staff who have made this day possible and who have committed themselves to a day of no preps, no lunch breaks, and to be here with you to learn and to grow as young men and women. So let's give a loud round of applause for all the advisors who are here. Now, I'm very excited to share with you a project that was very visual in nature when you entered our middle school. It is a project that the middle school community, adults and students, have been working on since September. Around September, it was the later half of September, we entered into a kindness project, which we call Kindness Revolution. And we're looking at starting a revolution of acts of kindness and just kindness in general. Because I think all of us know, especially coming out of childhood and into middle school, when you were in 6th grade, or some of you might have 5th grade in your middle school, you know, sometimes middle school can be a scary place to be, like high schools, like colleges, and to be honest, like the work field for some adults. We need more kindness in the world. I think we all would agree with that. The ball pit that you saw when you walked into our middle school is a very representation or represents all of the acts of kindness that students have done here at Heartland since late September. The ball pit was constructed by our head custodian, and I always like to share that because it is everybody in a school that should really be a part of the culture and be a part of whether or not that's a school that the students want to be at. So believe it or not, I thought 500 acts of kindness, 500 balls would fill that ball pit. Boy, I was wrong. Completely wrong. Epic how wrong I was. There are over 3,000 balls in that ball pit right now. And our goal has shifted quickly from 500 to 1,000 to 10,000. I was a former English teacher, and I hope as middle school students you know the word hyperbole. I love hyperboles. I love things when they're big and they're dramatic. 10,000 balls is the goal for our middle school. Now, since all of you are here representing your middle school, and I apologize, the advisors don't know I'm going to do this. I'm going to call each middle school on stage one at a time, and each one of you is going to get a ball. And this ball represents an act of kindness that everyone here at the middle school, Heartland Middle School, is asking you to do.
Our keynote speaker was at our middle school yesterday and did a fantastic job. His name is Russ Peak. Russ basically has content that is designed to educate you and most definitely entertain you. He's an award-winning motivational youth speaker. He's one of the nation's leading authorities on leadership and motivation. You'll be laughing a lot. He uses comedy, he engages his audience, and will motivate you to make positive life choices in learning effective leadership skills. Russ believes that leadership is for everyone, and that the key to making positive choices is easy when you're equipped with the proper leadership skills. For nearly 20 years, he's dedicated himself to studying the often complex leadership and communication techniques that you'll soon be learning. So please give a great big welcome to our people.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks. Hello, you guys. How you guys doing today? Good? Good, good, good. Who drove an hour? Or more than an hour? Who drove more than 2 hours? Wow, you did? That one guy did. That good. My name is Russ, and we're going to have a lot to do, but a short time to do it, so we're going to jump right on in. I want to warm up your minds. So everybody put your hand up there just like that. Put it up nice and high like a starting pistol and go bang, bang, bang. Oh, you guys are good. Wait, keep it up there, keep it up there. I want you to try this out. It's kind of an experiment. I want you to take your first finger and your thumb and make a circle like that and look at your circle. There's more to it, don't worry. Now look at me, make sure you can see me, because I want you to take your circle and I want you to put your circle on your chin. That's great, but your chin's down here, your chin is down. I got about half of you there. Some of you still have it up there. You know, the mind's a strange thing. It tricks us, it fools us. Sometimes we have no idea what the mind's going to do, but the thing I can tell you is that when you put your mind to it, anything's possible. Now, I work often as a speaker, but I do a lot of different things in my talks. Sometimes I work as a magician. I do some magic-y stuff. We'll do a little bit of that today. I also do some stuff that looks like mind reading. Now, I'm not a psychic or anything like that, but I think I know how these so-called mind readers seem to do these amazing things. So in that tradition of mind readers, of psychics, I have over here an envelope. Inside this envelope is my prediction. You can hold the light, you can see that I put something in it. I wrote something down, folded it up so you can't see what. But if I could, by the way, you can move those hands off your chin if you'd like. But if I could, I'd like to get someone to hold on to this, someone to keep it safe, someone that's nice. You, sir, hi, what's your name?
Kyle.
Kyle, nice to meet you, Kyle. I'm Russ. Everybody say hi, Kyle. Hi. Kyle, you have a very important job. Well, it's to keep that envelope safe. Don't let me physically touch the envelope again, Kyle, because let's say something happens in this room. I'm talking something impossible, something incredible, something no one in the world could possibly predict, Kyle. Like it's a chance 1 in millions. But then, let's say it comes true. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say I cheat. Can you believe that, Kyle? Thank you, Kyle. Now, some people think I cheat like this guy right here. He thinks I cheat. I do, just don't tell them. Now people think somehow I switch that envelope out. I mean, that's usually their #1 explanation, that somehow after this is all done, I switch envelopes on you. That's why you have to guard it. In fact, Kyle, should I ask for it? I want you to reply back, no. A nice, loud, clear, stern no. Like you mean it, so the whole room can hear. Let's practice. Kyle, may I have the envelope, please? Ooh, that's good. Let's give Kyle a big hand. He's doing fantastic. He's doing great. Good, good, good. Oh, Kyle, you do have another job. You do have another job, Kyle. In a little bit, I'm going to say, Kyle, stand up, open up the envelope, pull out the paper, and read what it says to everyone. When I tell you to do that part, you do get to do that part, okay? Not until I tell you to, but when I tell you to. You got it? Perfect. Now the next thing I have over here is today's USA Today. Actually, I have two newspapers. I have the USA Today and the Wall Street Journal. We'll use this one. My hotel had both. If I could, I need to get someone else to help me. I've got another very important job. Let's come back over here. Let's look back here in the back area here. Let's see. How about this? How about the young man right over here? Glasses, blue shirt. Yeah, come on up here. I'm going to get people from all over the room. Let's give him a big hand as he comes on up here. Right up here to the front. Fantastic. Come on up and join me, my friend. How you doing? Good. What's your name? Aiden, nice to meet you. Aiden, nice to meet you. Come on right over here. Everybody say hi, Aiden. Hi, Aiden. Aiden, check it out. It's a newspaper. It's today's USA Today. Flip through it. Make sure it's a newspaper. I mean, make sure that somehow it's not something I printed up in the back of my car in the parking lot. Not sure how I do that, but just got to make sure it's a newspaper. How's it look, Aiden? It's definitely a newspaper. Now, the reason why I like people to check it out, and I use today's newspaper, is that later on today, you want to go down to CVS or a gas station or whatever, pick up today's newspaper, go through it, and make sure everything is just like I'm telling you. You can do that. Now, today's presentation is about choices. Because, you know, being a leader is about choices. I mean, big ones, giant ones. Sometimes our choices are like life and death. Like we go, if I make the wrong choice, it'll change life as I know it. You ever have a choice like that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I won't ask you what it is, though. Sometimes those are personal. Some of our choices don't seem very important. I mean, maybe sometimes they're not, but you see, most of the time, we just have no idea what kind of choice it is. Something that we think is so insignificant, we find out way down the line just how important it is. That's why as leaders, we have to make our choices with care. Today's choice, Aiden, is going to be about newspaper. What I'm going to have you do here in a moment is to point to a handful of newspaper. Whichever one you point to, that's the handful we use. For example, if you point to this handful, I throw the rest away. You point to this handful, I throw the rest away. No magician's choice, no magic trick. Whichever one you point to, we keep. We throw the other handful away. Which one should we use, Aiden?
That one.
This one right here? Perfect. We've got the sports section and the life section. Point to a handful.
Life section.
The life section. Good, good, good. Let's do point to a handful. There we go. That narrows it down. Page 4D in the life section. What I'm going to have you do, Aiden, is I'm going to have you tear this piece of paper like that into nice thin strips, okay? Yeah. Keeping your fingertips, so you will need them in a little bit. And you will finish up before I get back to you. So here, come on over here, Aiden. I have a chair for you. Best chair in the house. That's right. You're going to look at all your friends with a big smile. Yes. Let's give Aiden a big hand. He's doing fantastic. Good job, Aiden. Good job. Now, we are exploring the world of mind readers, of ESP, of thought wave transmission. Now, I got to tell you, I've been doing this magic stuff and some fun psychological mind reading stunts for years. I'm not a psychic in any way, but I've been studying them for a long time, and I think I know how they seem to do these amazing things. So if I could, I need to get someone to help me out. Someone enthusiastic. Someone who wouldn't mind having their mind read today. Let me come back over here somewhere. Let me come back over here. Let's see. So many. Hi, how are you doing, Alyssa? Alyssa, you feeling like you need your mind read today? You do? Come on up here. Let's give Alyssa a big hand. Come on up here. Right up over here. I've got a good feeling about Alyssa. I think this is going to work out just well. Just fine here. Come on over, right over here. There we go. Everybody say hi, Alyssa. Hi, Alyssa. Alyssa, have you ever had your mind read before?
No.
No. You know, that's the way most people answer when I ask them that question. No. But the truth is, we get our minds read all the time. Yeah, we do. I mean, now with psychic powers, we give away our thoughts. By the way we look, by the way we act, by the way we talk, by the way we dress. I'll show you more about this in a little bit. Now, Alyssa, I do these shows. I travel all over the place. I came in from Portland, Oregon the other day, but I travel all over, and I do these shows where I bring people up just like Alyssa. And then I reach their minds, and I find their deepest, darkest, most embarrassing thoughts, and I tell everyone with psychic powers. No, not really. But instead, we're not going to do anything personal, anything embarrassing. Today, we're just going to go ahead and do a little demonstration of how mind readers work. Here, we'll use some books. I've got 3 books. I've got The Story of My Life by Helen Keller. All I really need to know I learned in kindergarten, and some Judy Blume book I stole off my daughter's shelf. Which one should we? Oh, the Helen Keller one. Great. Flip through it. Make sure it's a book. Make sure the page numbers are different. The words are different. Make sure it's all on the same page, glued together. In fact, Alyssa, how many pages are in that book? How many pages are in that book?
190.
190, but kind of standard for this sort of a book. 190 pages. Now, Alyssa, there's about 20 words per line, about 40 lines per page. We said 190 pages. How many words does that make in the book? Say a lot.
A lot.
A lot. Exactly the number we're looking for. Now, Alyssa, we're going to have you think of one of these words. I'll make it real simple. I'm going to flip through the book like this, and as I do, at some point you'll shout out stop. When you shout stop, we'll stop at a page. Like we stopped that page, that'd be your word, or that'd be your word, or that'd be your word, or that'd be your word, right? Every word different as you go through. When you look at that word, you're not going to tell me, you're not going to write it down, you're not going to whisper to the audience, you're just going to think about your word. I'm going to guide you through the process to picture it, to visualize it, and then I'm going to try to figure out what it is without you verbally telling me. And if I get it, I do miss sometimes. I missed one yesterday. But even if I miss it or not, I'm going to show you guys how these so-called minors do these amazing things. Say stop anytime. Stop. Right there. You like that one right there? Yeah. Hold on to the book. Picture that word in front of you, big and bold, Alyssa. Pretend like there's a big movie screen hovering above this audience, and you see your word written across it in big, bold. Do them as capital letters. Perfect. Now look at that first letter, Alyssa. Look at it. Imagine the curves, the lines, the shapes, everything that makes that letter. Good. Go to the second letter right there. Picture that second letter. You're doing great. The third right there. Good. Let your eyes gaze across every letter till you reach the last one. Fantastic. Now, Alyssa, I'm going to grab out a pad of paper here because there's a second part to this. In a moment, I'm going to say go. When I say go, I want you to have that word up there all the way across. You look at that first letter for about 2 seconds and let it dissolve away. Just let it break away into a million pieces. Go to the second letter for about 2 seconds. Let it dissolve away. The third, the fourth, all the way across till you reach the end. Do you understand? Perfect. Now, for those of you behind me, it's blank right now. If you see what I write, please don't say it out loud so we don't want to influence Alyssa in any way. Alyssa, picture that word up there all the way across. Look at that first letter and go. Look at that letter for about 2 seconds. 1, 2, let it dissolve away. Good job. Look at that second letter. 1, 2, let it dissolve away. You're doing great. Keep going like that all the way across till you reach the end. Okay. Is that the last letter? You're on the last one? That was it? Oh, that's not a very big word, is it? Okay. Oh, I see what it is. Hold on. We'll see if I got it. I don't always get it right. We'll see how I do. We'll see. Alyssa, out loud for everybody, what word are you thinking of?
Afraid.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I got it. Afraid. Let's give her a big hand. She did a fantastic job. I'm going to show you how that works. I'll show you. You stay here, Alyssa. We're going to show them how that works step by step. Here, we'll do it again. Say stop anytime.
Stop.
Right there. You like that word right there?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on to the book. Picture it in front of you, big and bold. Now, these so-called minors don't actually read your mind now with psychic powers. They look at the way you look, the way you act, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way your eyes dilate when you lie. Yeah. And the way if I was to say to you, think back to the 3rd grade to your best friend. What most of you do, you see, is you go up, your eyes would kind of go up to the right as you thought about that person. Because it's all stored up here in this incredible mind of ours. But let's say you're telling a big whopper of a story. Maybe you're telling a lie. Maybe you're in creative writing class and you're trying to think of what to write next. Usually your eyes go up to the left as we try to create something new. It's just the way the mind works. We look forward and upward and we remember sensations, like what it felt like to be cold or scared. Some people touch their face when they're nervous. Others cross their arms or feel defensive. We give away a lot of signs. For example, look the way she's got the book like that. A perfect example. Her hands like that, not one down, one back behind her back, or one hand up, one hand down. She goes like that. It kind of makes a circle, but you can also see she dominates right there on one leg. See that right leg going down very, very straight, the other one kind of leaning to the side? Her circle also points out this direction a little bit. I'm going to guess, is there an R in your word? Now, that could be a coincidence. There's a lot of words with R in it. We'll do it again. Picture that first letter in front of you, big and bold. Picture that first letter up there right now. Picture it, picture it, picture it. Good. Did you see it? It was very subtle, but she went like this. That lip came up just enough to let us know that the first letter is a D. Is the first letter a D? Good, 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 good. Now, some of these psychics, they tell us that each of the minds are connected. Like there's a strand from you and you and you and you. Like we're all connected with these little invisible strands. Like there's this infinite, invisible, spiral strands hovering above us, where if I have just the right tools, I can reach up my strand, reach around and then reach down and pluck that out of your mind or yours or yours. I don't buy that. This is what it might look like. Put that word up there all the way across. Good, good, good. Another not very big word, but I can see it's a D and R. Good. Next letter right there, that's an E, an A, a D is your word, dread. Let's give her a big hand. She did a fantastic job. Alyssa, you can take a bow. You can have a seat. You did a fantastic job. And you. Oh, Aiden, that is so well done. Look at that. I've never seen it done so well. There's a second part to your job. I want you to take these pieces of paper and I want you to tear them like this into little pieces, okay? Little pieces just like that. Hold on to those little pieces. There you go. If you drop some, don't go scrambling after them, okay? Just hold on to as many as you can. Oh, he's good. Look at the technique there. Hand me out the envelope, please. No, you're doing great too. Now, I know you heard that there's going to be a motivational speaker today, and by now some of you are going, what the heck does this have to do with motivation? But that's okay, because the other part of the room's going, what's motivation? I mean, we hear it a lot, right? We hear our teachers say, come on, let's get motivated to get that paper done on time. Or your coach says, let's get motivated to win this game. But the word motivation, the way we take it, the way we apply it to our lives, it can be a little tricky. And that's why I like to explain it through Newton. Remember Newton, the scientist? You heard about that guy, right? The apple fell on his head. He talked about gravity. Well, he also talked about motion, things moving. And he gave us what's called the law of motion, or for our purposes, the first law of motion. It goes something like this. An object at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. I'll say that again. An object at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. Now, I'm not a scientist, but what I understand that to mean is that if you have a bowling ball sitting right there in your front lawn, it's going to stay there forever. I mean, forever, till the end of time. It's not going to walk away or fly away or migrate south for the winter. It's going to stay right there unless acted upon by an outside force. That means unless someone comes up and picks up that bowling ball and walks away with it, maybe someone pushes it away, or maybe you live on a hill and that force of gravity takes it away. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this law of motion and turn it to the law of motivation. We've got to change a few things. We've got to change that object. That bowling ball see your front lawn? We change it to be your goals, your dreams, your ideas. The things that you want to have come true in your life, no matter how big or small. It could be the type of person you want to be, the grades you want to get, the score you want to get on the next big test, the type of athlete you want to be, the type of friend or someday a husband or wife or mother and father. It could also be the type of leader that you want to be on your campus, the type of changes that you want to see happen at the school that you go to. The important thing is that object is it's got to be yours. I mean, I'm not just talking about your parents want, your friends want, your teachers want. I'm talking about what you want deep down inside. I mean, if you want to be the best leader that your school's ever had, if you want to see incredible changes happen at your school, you better be able to look at that thing, that object, and say, that's mine. I want that to come true. I mean, you've got to be able to get behind those ideas that you have and behind those beliefs and why you're a leader and look at it and say, I own that. Now, so far, this law of motivation says your goals and dreams will remain at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. Now, the next part, you change the force, because the force isn't so outside. The force is you. Because not only do you have to know what that goal, that dream is, and not only do you have to own that thing, you also have to realize you're the only one that can move it. I mean, I know you've got people that care about you and love you and want the best for you. And I know that they'd love to be able to move your objects for you to make your dreams come true, but the simple fact is that that's not the way it works. You see, the people who love us and care about us, usually they're too busy trying to move their own objects to give ours the attention that it needs and that it deserves. I mean, as leaders, we have to realize that we have to be able to go up there and pick up that ball or to get that ball rolling. Because the law of motivation ultimately says your goals and dreams go nowhere unless you take responsibility and you move them yourself. You're doing great over here, Hayden. We're going to get back to you here in just a moment. But I want to kind of skip into something else real quick. We're kind of on a shorter time than I was originally scheduled, so we're kind of bouncing around, trying a few things. You know, I started out doing magic tricks and things like those mind-reading stunts when I was a kid. I was about 7, 8 years old when I got my very first magic book. And I did a magic trick for my sister. It was a trick with a piece of rope, and I'll do it here in a second. And she knew exactly how I did it. And she told me, and I cried. I know it was so sad. I cried. But it's okay. I didn't give up. I kept going. I stopped doing magic for a little while, but then I realized at one point, using my gifts and my skills, the things that I have fun with, were a great way to reach out to people and get them to know me and to encourage other people. You see, we've got to use our imaginations and think of wonderful things as leaders and pull from all of our strengths, all of our tools. Every single one of you is created with an incredible imagination. A lot of people think you have to leave it behind back when you're a kid, when you used to finger paint and dry your drafts green. But hold on to it. Keep it strong. Einstein, who's considered to be one of the most brilliant minds there ever was quoted as saying, "An imagination is more important than knowledge." And he went on to explain that if you had all the facts, all the figures, all the ideas in the world, they don't do you any good unless you have an imagination and take that knowledge, that data, those skills you have to do incredible things with them. That's why if you show me someone with an imagination, they can show you a cartoonist who creates the happiest place on earth. That's what Walt Disney did. Or maybe, how about Bill Gates or the late Steve Jobs going from computer geeks to computer gurus? If you hold on to your imaginations, you keep them strong, I guarantee they can go places and do things. You can change your school in ways that the person sitting right next to you right now will never imagine. You guys want to see that first magic trick that I started doing when I was about 7 years old? Yeah? I'm going to pull it out right now. It's an old classic in magic. And really, magic tricks, really, just using your imagination. You've got to look at something simple. Maybe something that seems ordinary, like a piece of rope. And you've got to use your imagination and think about, what can I do with that? I need to get someone, if I could, to help me out. I need to get a volunteer to help me out with a classic in magic. Danielle, do you want to come help me? Let's give Danielle a big hand. Here she comes, up to the front. It's Danielle. Come on up here, Danielle. You've been asking for a magic trick here today. How are you doing today? Good. Danielle, take the piece of rope and pull and tug on it. Make sure there's no secret doors, traps, dead rats, deadly gases, chickens, turtles, anything like that. How's it look to you? Good. Like a piece of rope, right? I'll go ahead and take that back. In fact, here, it's starting to fray at the ends. Let me get that off there and make sure there's nothing sneaky at the ends or anything like that. Here, go ahead and take it, look at it. I'll do it this side too. Perfect. Looks good? Yeah. Perfect. Then I'll take those back, or the rope back. And Danielle, I'd like you to take the scissors. And make sure they're nice and sharp on the points and also normal on the handles. But whatever you do, Danielle. Oh, sorry, there you go. Danielle, look at them. Make sure they're normal scissors. Here, you can try them out right here on your sleeve if you want. No, you're good? Okay. I was just kidding. You're good, too. Here we go, a piece of rope and a classic in magic. Danielle, this is a piece of rope. This is end A, this is end B, which makes this the middle. You're good, the middle. And if this is the middle, it makes these the sides. So go ahead and cut it right there in the middle, Danielle. Perfect. Because we are going to do a classic in magic, one where the magician has two perfectly even pieces. Those aren't even though. Got to make sure those are nice and perfect. Okay, here we go. We are going to do a classic in magic. It's been around for a long, long time. It's the one where the magician has... I don't know what you're doing there, Danielle. I knew she was trouble. There we go. Go ahead and cut that right there. Perfect. Here we go. Let's go ahead and do this. This is the trick, the classic in magic, the one... I don't know why you're doing that, Danielle. There we go. Perfect. Two perfectly close enough pieces of rope. Let's give Danielle a big hand. She's doing fantastic so far. She is doing great. Okay, now this is the trick, the one where the magician has two pieces of rope and he puts it back together into one piece of rope. And I call this trick taking two pieces of rope and put it back together into one piece of rope. That's not a very good name, is it? I better come up with a better one. But here's how it works. You take end A and put it next to end B, end C next to end D. You got that? End A goes next to end B, and C next to end D. Perfect. Then you take end A next to side L, end B over here next to loop C, turn on T, Y, squeeze on W. You flip it over onto ABC, then CBS and NBC. You turn it, you flip it, you go over and through as you go in and out, as you go over and through. You cross it over, you make a little butterfly shape like that. We call that W. You'll flip it onto the second part of M, flip it onto T, squeeze it on L, and then put your pinky on B. You got that? No. You didn't get that? Okay. Pay attention. We'll start all over again. This is the trick, the one with a piece of rope. This is end A, this is end B, which makes this the middle. Ooh, this is a cool part, Danielle. I like this. Watch. You take ends A and B. You put them in your pockets. You snap your fingers, and sometimes it becomes a piece of rope without any... Oops, that's not good. We'll do that again, because this is the trick, the one where the magician has a piece of rope. And this is end A, this is end B, which makes this the middle. Very good. If this is the middle, it makes these the sides. Go ahead and cut it right there in the middle, Danielle. You are doing fantastic, because this is the trick. Yeah, those are kind of getting dull, aren't they, those scissors? This is the trick, the one where the magician has two perfectly close enough pieces of rope. Another big hand for Danielle. She's doing a fantastic job. Now, Danielle, I'm going to take back these scissors and put them over here, just in case you like the rest of the trick. Well, you know, as we know, magicians have magical hands. And some of these instructions that they do to learn magic tricks, like this one here, I really did start learning this trick when I was about 7 years old. And, well, I had to come up with all sorts of ways to do it and to make it fun. But, you know, the easy way that magicians have learned is just to use magic words. You know any magic words, Danielle? Abracadabra, those are good ones. Okay, Danielle, what I want you to do is to put your right hand up in the air, and you'll count 1, 2, 3, nice and loud, and your fingers, and on 3, we'll all say the words of abracadabra, and the rope will magically melt together into one long piece all over again. Are you ready? You set for that? You guys ready? Here we go. Go ahead, count to 3, Danielle. On 3, we say the magic words. Abracadabra. And look at that, the rope magically melts back together. Back. And the rope magically melts together back into one. Well, yeah, that's not very good. Well, as we know, magicians have magical hands. They also have magical breath. Magical breath. Did you know that? No, you didn't know that? I've noticed, Danielle, that you have magical breath this morning. You're doing good. Hold on again to the rope right there, Danielle. Face me, your feet together, close to the ground. Hand up higher, feet close to the ground. Perfect. All right, hand up there. On the count of 3, Danielle, I'll count 1, 2, 3, and on 3, I want you to blow that knot. It'll go flying out into the audience. If you catch it, I'll give you $1. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Huh. Oh, hand up higher, feet close to the ground on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Huh. Well, you're not exactly the big bad wolf, are you? Tell you what, we'll do this. We'll just move that closer. That'll be easy. Danielle, why don't we do this? Because we are running out of time. Why don't you take that knot right there? You take the rope too. We'll keep practicing. We'll do it next time. Let's give Danielle a big hand. Danielle, take a bow for everybody. You did a fantastic job. You can have a seat. You can keep that if you like. There we go. See what a little bit of an imagination can do? That really does just use a piece of rope and a pair of scissors. And just like leadership, sometimes we have to look at the ordinary and think about how can we make that extraordinary. Unfortunately, we've got bad budgets these days. Sometimes we don't get the support of maybe our school or students or our community the way that we'd like to. So sometimes we have to be creative. Sometimes we have to reach in this incredible imagination of ours to find other answers, to look for incredible ways to do things. Hold on, I've got an idea. You've got those papers all torn up. That's great. We're going to put them inside the net right there. Go ahead and stand up. Take a bow for everybody. Let's give our paper shredder a big hand. You can have a seat, my friend. You did fantastic. Hundreds of thousands of word combinations that could be on a piece of today's randomly selected USA Today. Chosen from someone from your group. Reach in there, grab it a great big handful of newspaper, a big handful. Good. Reach in there, grab it a great big handful. Grab some out of there. Grab it a big handful out of there. Good. Oh, I can't get near you. Oh, may I have the envelope, please? No. Oh, no. That's good. Reach in there, grab a handful of newspaper. Big handful, grab some out of there. Grab some out of there, please. Good. Let's keep going. You, what's your name? What is it? Logan. Are you a mind reader, Logan? You look like a mind reader. You want to be a mind reader? Come on up here. Let's give Logan a big hand. Reach in there. Grab some out of there. Grab some out of there. I think there's, yeah, perfect. Come on up here, Logan. I have a good feeling about Logan. I hope this works. Come on up here. Right up over here. Dun, dun, dun. It's Logan. Right over here, Logan. Logan. So you want to be a mind reader? I'm going to teach you some advanced mind reading techniques. First, step forward. Pull up those sleeves a little bit. Yeah. Plant your feet and shake it out. Yeah, you got to get those psychic juices flowing. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, make your mind a total blank. Wow, that was fast, Logan. I've never seen it done that fast. It's like it was already there. Now, you're doing great, Logan. Turn your head to the right. Reach in the bag with your left hand. Yeah, your head looks that way. This hand into the bag. And grab just one piece of paper, just one. How many got there? You got one? Does it have words on it? Make sure there's words. You like that one? It's got words? Okay. Look at it. Read the words to yourself. Read them all to yourself. Okay. I want you to read into the microphone, Logan. What does it say on that piece of paper? What does it say?
Have never bothered, have learned a lot from.
What? Have never bothered, have learned a lot from. Yeah, that means nothing to me, Logan. You're not very good at this. Oh, wait, I got an idea. The envelope, can I have the envelope, please? Oh, bummer. Oh, this is the part you do get to do. Stand up and open up that envelope. Yeah, open that up. Can you read that again, Logan, what it says?
Have never bothered, have learned a lot from.
I'm going to put the microphone towards you. I'm not going to touch the paper or the envelope. I know it's hard to open. And the sticky stuff wasn't sticking this morning. I had to super glue it closed. I'm going to put the microphone towards you. I want you to read into the microphone. What does it say in that prediction you've been holding the whole time? What does it say?
Have never bothered, have learned a lot from.
A perfect match. Give it up for Logan, our mind reader. Logan, you are good. Take a bow for everybody, Logan. You did great. You can have a seat, my friend. I do not know how you did that. That was weird. Whew, I'm freaked out, Logan. I'm not going to sleep tonight. So this is my job. This is what I do. I get to travel around and do these shows, or I get to do some magic and do some things that look like mind reading. I get to hang out at conferences like this and meet all sorts of cool people like you. And I tell you this because if you learn nothing else from me today, I love what I do. And life's too short to get stuck in something that you don't love. I mean, we see that all the time. People who just get stuck in a life that they regret. Things that they wish that they hadn't done. Things that they wish that they had done. I mean, if you go out in this world and you ask someone, hey, what do you like about life? They might give you one or two things, right? But if you ask those same people, what don't you like about life? They go on and on and on and on. Or a bottomless pit of complaints and regrets and, oh, I wish I shoulda and coulda. And you know, it's like they opened up their door and they stepped out one day and they said, I hope I end up somewhere good. And then 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I don't know, maybe it doesn't take that long. They look back and they go, oh man, I never end up anywhere good. Life sucks. That's what they say. It gets a giggle, but that's what they say. My answer is, how do you end up anywhere good if you have no idea where good is? I mean, really, we can't get there unless we know where it is that we're going. That's the cool thing about leadership. I got a chance to speak to the school here, to the general school yesterday, and I got to explain about the fact that that's a lot what middle school is about, just like leadership. I mean, there's things in school you love, there's things you hate. I mean, we've got English and science and history and math and PE and I mean, all these different types of things that they try to introduce us to get our minds, to get our imaginations going. And whether we like certain subjects or not, or certain things or not. See, the main thing about schools is that that's our time, especially as leaders like you and I are. It's our time to be able to think about who are we, what do we want in life, and we get to open up our door. I mean, maybe for the first time for some of us, and We got to ask ourselves, where's good? Where's wonderful? Where's incredible? Where's the best place I could ever imagine ending up? And you see, we can make that our goal, our dream, and we can go after it, because when you know who you are, when you know what you believe in of why you're a leader, if you know who you are as a person, you don't have to go through life trying to predict the future, just guessing and hoping and dreaming what might happen tomorrow. When you know what you're about, when you've got that goal, that dream, you don't have to try to predict the future. You can invent it. You've got to know who you are, though. You've got to know what you're about. You've got to use that imagination. And you've got to realize that anything's possible. Now, we're kind of going on a different route here. My keynote, I kind of switched it around for time constraints and stuff, but we're going to end in just a moment or so. So I want to end today not with a trick. I want to end with a poem. It's you guys from yesterday, you got to hear it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again for this group, because it really is it applies to leaders. It applies to you guys here in this room. It's not Shakespeare, and I didn't write it. It was written anonymously a long time ago. It's called The Builder, and it goes like this. It says, I saw them tearing a building down, a gang of men in my hometown. With a heave and a ho and a yes, yes yell, they swung a beam and a sidewall fell. I asked the foreman, are these men as skilled as the ones that you'd use if you had to build? The man replied, oh no indeed, the most common labor is all I need, because I can destroy in a day or two what it takes the builder 10 years to do. So I asked myself as I went my way, which of these roles am I willing to play? Am I the one that's tearing down as I carelessly make my way around? Or am I the one that builds with care? So my craft, my community, my school are just a little better because I was there. You know, being a leader is about building. It's about building up your school. It's about building up your friends, your family. It's about building up your community. It's about building up your state here. I mean, here while you're in middle school, and it keeps going as you go into high school and as you go off into adulthood. Being a leader is about building up. You know, it's easy to tear down. I do that newspaper thing about 200 times a year at conferences and schools, and sometimes I just skim through it. Sometimes I read the whole thing. But you know, I noticed that most of the articles in there are about tearing down. I mean, corrupt politicians, corrupt businesses, crime, disasters. I mean, so much tearing down going on. I mean, if you just took this world from what you see in this newspaper, it seems like such a dreary place. But it doesn't have to be that way. You see, you could tear down someone on campus with just a cruel word or a dirty look, by leaving them out, by not letting them into your leadership circle, or to let them into the groups that we like to be part of. You could tear down someone, well, I know you've heard all the time, don't use drugs, kids, you'll tear down your mind. It's true. But it's just as true that you could tear down your life and yourself with a lack of belief in yourself, the fact that you do matter, the fact that using your incredible imagination, you can do things. You can change your schools in ways that the classes before you have never thought of. So go out there and learn some great stuff today. When you make it back to school, build up those people on campus you know. Build up the ones you don't know. Build up those people you don't want to know. There's always people that we don't want to know, right? But as leaders, we need to get out there. We have to let them know that we care. We have to let them know that they're important. And we have to let them know that when they put their mind to it, anything's possible. You guys, you were a fantastic audience. Stay seated. You're going to be dismissed into your groups. My name is Russ Peak. I'll see you guys in workshops in just a few minutes. Thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks.
Tell you what this is. This is called leadership auction. And I am giving you, every group has all the lists of the words or the leadership traits or words. So what we're going to do, everyone has $950. There are no fives. You can't scream out $55. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes in each group to read all the words and come up come to the common consensus that, oh, you know what, that word we really want to option off. We really want to buy that word.
Yeah, no one's really gonna. No one's gonna think of that. Yeah, relatable or needed. Yeah. So we could start out at like 50.
People spend a lot of money on that.
It will start at $50. Who would like enthusiasm? $50? Anybody else? Nothing more? How much? 60? 70? I heard how much do you think, Scott? Start with an I.
Inspired.
Inspired.
Chance to go on iTunes. He has like his books on tape and he tells himself. They're like 990 on everything. Just like some of the leaders, people fight us on when they have a conversation. There's going to be a couple rules. So super fast, out, just really fast and quiet. There's a saying that says if you go out and look for friends, you're going to find the crazy. You know, in this round, you don't have any rules. It's your job to ask those questions.